The Alchemist is an allegorical novel first published in 1988 and written by Brazilian author Paulo Coelho. The book is filled with wisdom from the first to the last page. This book is for those who want to realize their dreams, who want to be one with a true self, and who have not given up yet on their childhood dreams. The story is about Santiago, a young shepherd traveling with his sheep in the region of Andalusia in the south of Spain. He is having recurrent dreams about a treasure hidden near the pyramids of Egypt. It is at a striking distance of 3,500 kilometers or 2,200 miles, and there is no cars or planes but only camels and horses. Should he take the risk of sacrificing the tranquil life he has been leading to adventure himself into the unknown? Or should he simply ignore his silly dreams? This book beautifully answers that question through the adventure of the young Santiago. In this video, I will consider in particular three themes from the book: your personal legend, the conspiracy of the universe, and the language without words. The first theme is your personal legend. In the book, the author calls personal legend your innermost desire, dream, and identity. It is what you truly want. Oftentimes, it was a dream you had when you were young. It could be something like becoming an artist, traveling the world, or finding the love of your life. It resonates at the level of your heart, not your head. The thing is, most people give up on it. They are slapped by the hard reality that is life. They become realistic, take a job and an identity that are secure. Each day resembles the last. It is stable and there is no change. In the book, the docile sheep of Santiago are a symbol of people that gave up on their dreams. They do not see the beautiful landscapes that surround them. They do not care about it. They are concerned only with food and water. This monotonous life is part of what sets Santiago on his quest for adventure, on his personal legend. In the book, we encounter different characters that have given up on the dreams. At the beginning of the book, the old king Melchizedek points to the baker nearby who gave up on his dream of traveling the world for the stability of his job. He doesn't know that he could realize his dream now. All it takes is one decision. Instead, his dream has been buried deep inside. The second character we meet is a crystal glass merchant who gave up on his dream of pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca. He prefers desiring it rather than realizing it. He says, "I'm afraid that if my dream is realized, I'll have no reason to go on living." We also see characters that are one with their dreams. The first one is a candy seller. We can see on his face that he is where he wants to be. He is at ease and enjoying his job. He has found his personal legend. There is something to note here. The previous baker was not realizing his personal legend, but some bakers are. What the dream is does not matter. What matters is that you find your personal legend and try to realize it. What is the point of living if you're living not your own desires, but somebody else's or society's desires? And of course, we have the hero of the story, Santiago. He listens closely to his heart, quote from the book. From then on, the boy understood his heart. He asked it, please, never to stop speaking to him. He asked that when he wandered far from his dreams, his heart press him and sound the alarm. Most people in our modern world have stopped listening to their heart, have stopped living their personal legend. Throughout the story, the boy understands more and more the importance of the heart, of love. Quote from the book, the boy and his heart had become friends, and neither was capable now of betraying the other. Santiago, the hero of the story, after his encounter with the old king, realizes that he can see whether somebody is close or far from his personal legend. Quote from the book, he realized that he could do the same things that the old man had done, sense whether a person was near to or far from his personal legend, just by looking at them. It's easy, and yet I've never done it before, he thought. A lot of people think that their personal legend will be forever out of reach, so they don't even try. The following is a discussion between the alchemist and Santiago about realizing your personal legend. If a person is living out his personal legend, he knows everything he needs to know. There is only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve: the fear of failure, says the alchemist. But what if I can't, says Santiago. Then you die in the midst of trying to realize your personal legend. That's a lot better than dying like millions of other people who never even knew what their personal legends were. Coelho's thesis here is that it is much better to die trying to realize your personal legend than never even making the first step. The book says, life really is generous to those who pursue their personal legend. Tell your heart that the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself, and that no heart has ever suffered when it goes in the search of its dreams, because every second of the search is a second's encounter with God and with eternity. The calling of your personal legend will come over and over. It's always here in the background. You cannot ignore it. For some, it is just buried deeper. This theme of the book resonated deeply with me. As I grew up, I wanted to be an artist, but my parents and society at large told me that this was silly. An artist is not a real job. Engineer or businessmen are real jobs. So I studied engineering, and then later finance. I got a real job, and a high-paying one too. But I still didn't feel that I was living my personal legend. Starting this YouTube channel, The Quant Artist, is actually a way for me to live my personal legend. It combines my passion for art and also uses the reasoning skills I learned at school. It's not always easy, but this is my personal legend. The second theme of the book is the conspiracy of the universe. Quote from the book: "When you want something, the whole universe conspires in order for you to achieve it. Never stop dreaming," the old king had said. Follow the omens. The world is incredibly complex. Each individual filters the world through its own set of beliefs. In science, it is referred as the reticular activating system. The exact same situation affects people differently depending on the filter of the world. One kid that gets bullied becomes a tyrant. The other one later receives the Nobel Peace Prize. The book starts with a tale of Narcissus, a youth who knelt daily beside a lake to contemplate his own beauty. He was so fascinated by himself that one morning he fell into the lake and drowned. But this particular tale has a twist. After Narcissus died, the lake, which had been fresh water, transformed into a lake of salty tears. The lake was weeping for Narcissus. But surprisingly, we discover that the lake didn't know about the beauty of Narcissus, because all along it did not look at Narcissus' face, but looked only in the depths of Narcissus' eyes, where the lake's own beauty was reflected. I think the morale of this tale is that we don't see the world as it is, but we see the world as we are. When I look at somebody else, I don't see that person in its entirety, but only what this person and me have in common. When an event happens, we don't see the event, we see our beliefs. So in believing that you can achieve your dreams, each event is regarded as a stepping stone towards your dream. Coelho says in an interview that omens are the individual language in which God talks to you. My omens are not your omens. They are this strange but very individual language that guides you toward your own destiny. They are not logical. They talk to your heart directly. This silent voice of God that leads me to the places where I should be. Some omens from the book are: a butterfly flutters between Santiago and the old king while the old man talks about the treasure in Egypt. This is a good omen, and means that Santiago should pursue his dream of going to the pyramids of Egypt. Another one is: while Santiago was cleaning the crystal in the merchant's shop, 2 customers came in while he was working. That's a good omen. He should pursue his work at the merchant's shop. Another one is: the Englishman also possesses the stones Urim and Thummim. This cannot be a coincidence. It is a good omen that Santiago should continue his journey with the Englishman. The situation you are in right now is exactly where you need to be in order to grow. If your life were a video game, you are exactly at the right level of difficulty. For me, it is like God made this custom-made experience for you so that your soul can grow. Listen to your heart and listen to the omens. They will guide you to your personal legend. The third theme of the book is the language without words, the universal language. A lot of things in life are wordless, like love, intuition, or creativity. In the book, we see the contrast between the Englishman and Santiago. The Englishman is an intellectual plunged in piles of books. He reads all the time, even on his camel. On the other hand, Santiago likes to observe the caravan and the desert that surrounds them. He speaks the language without words with his sheep. He is present to the moment. In the book, the Alchemist says there is only one way to learn, it's through action. Like the tip of an iceberg, words represent only a tiny fraction of reality. The rest, 90% in average for an iceberg, is wordless. When the Englishman meets the alchemist asks him if he had ever tried to transform lead into gold. The Englishman replies that he came here to learn that. The alchemist tells him, go and try. The Englishman later in the book says that it was my fear of failures that first kept me from attempting the masterwork. Now I'm beginning what I could have started 10 years ago, but I'm happy at least I didn't wait 20 years. Some things you learn only through doing, through failing, through the language, without words. I felt that this part of the book was written for me. After years of study, I feel a little bit like the Englishman. I'm buried in books. And there is nothing wrong about books, but the problem is that you can overread. For example, a lot of people, myself included, have become self-help junkies. We consume the content, resonate with it, but when push comes to shove, we don't take action. We procrastinate smartly, maybe reading another book, instead of simply doing the activity. It could be starting a business, reaching out to someone, or pursuing your personal legend. In this video, we covered 3 themes from The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho: your personal legend, the conspiracy of the universe, and the language without words. This book resonated deeply with me. If you haven't read yet the book, I highly encourage you to read the book. It is a short novel that can be finished in 1 or 2 days, and I hope that this book encourages you to see the omens and follow your personal legend. It is never too late to start, and the universe or God is always ready to help you and also to test you. There are many more themes in the book, like the present moment, oneness, or the value of simplicity, that I might cover in a future video. But for now, it is the end of this video. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like and share the video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.